My name is Sandra Merritt, and this is my video response for Dr. Crosby's class. This is specifically directed at assessment over standards 3 and 4 for his class. I currently serve as the MTSS specialist at Cousins Middle School in Newton County. So for the first question Dr. Crosby posed, he asked, why is it important for a teacher leader to be an expert in content and in methods? Essentially, the teacher leader has to understand the content, the standards, be able to break the standards down in order to understand how to present it to students, how to engage students in the activities, how to plan for activities, because your teacher leaders are the ones who are really serving as model classrooms, as model educators for other people in the building. And it's important that they have a very deep understanding of the curriculum, but not only a deep understanding of the curriculum, but also a deep understanding of teaching methods. So we can understand curriculum and not understand how to teach students and still fall short. So your teacher leader has to be very adept at not only understanding the curriculum, but also understanding how to teach the students at the level that they're teaching. That's essentially the gist of why I think that Standard 3, understanding curriculum and methods, is important. Now, moving into the second section, which is Standard 4, it's really not enough to even understand teaching the curriculum and teaching methods. So if it just stops there, then really your teacher leader is not really an effective leader. So Standard 4 points out that not only should a teacher be able to understand the content and the methods, but they also should be able to teach those methods to other adults in the building. You can have an excellent teacher, a teacher who really understands the content, who's a phenomenal teacher, who doesn't necessarily understand how to teach adults in the building or how to be a mentor for other adults in the building. And that is why it's important for teacher leaders to understand how to be effective mentors, because your teacher leaders are going to serve as the go-to person in your building. So, for example, if a teacher is struggling with how to implement technology, then you are going to pair that teacher up with a teacher leader who is not only phenomenal in implementing technology within the classroom or within the lessons in the classroom, but you're also going to ensure that that teacher leader is able to model for other teachers and provide adequate instruction for the teachers, and serving as a role model for other people in the building. Teacher leaders can be a huge asset within your building for aiding other teachers on how to be the best that they can be. Additionally, they need to be able to guide and encourage other teachers in the building through a sometimes very difficult growth process. So it's not easy to understand our weaknesses and address it. That's a very difficult thing for adults to do, to understand that we have a weakness and to know that we're addressing it. And then oftentimes you're paired with a teacher leader through a mentorship, a coaching situation for someone to help you with it. Your teacher leader also has to understand how to navigate the adults' perceptions of that help or that extra instruction. You have to be able to have challenging discourse sometimes with the other adults in your building, and not through a lens of attack, but through a growth mindset within the building. And that's sometimes very difficult for some leaders to do, to make sure that you are attempting to lead, attempting to promote growth, attempting to provide engagement through deep questioning and great professional learning communities, but within a mindset of a growth mindset. We're not always going to be great at everything, so this is what we need to work on, this is why, and then provide experience to do that. And it can be through lots of methods during discussion, during modeling, but and then coming back through a coaching cycle to kind of discuss what went well, what didn't go well, how we can improve for later. So I think for both standards 3 and 4, so standard 3 specifically to understand the curriculum and methods, and for standard 4 to be a model or a teacher leader to help promote engagement and to other educators and be a role model. They kind of go hand in hand, but they are very different skills with very different skill sets, and it's very important that a teacher leader would possess both.